A Fresnel zone is a region of space around a radio wave transmission path that contains most of the energy of the wave. The Fresnel zones are named after Augustin-Jean Fresnel, a French physicist who first described them in the early 19th century. There are an infinite number of Fresnel zones, but the first few are the most important. The first Fresnel zone is the region that contains the most energy, and it is the zone that is most critical for the successful transmission of radio waves. If an object obstructs the first Fresnel zone, it can cause a significant loss of signal strength. This is because the object will block some of the energy of the radio wave, and the remaining energy will be spread out over a larger area, which will reduce the signal strength at the receiver. The size of the Fresnel zones depends on the frequency of the radio waves and the distance between the transmitter and the receiver. The higher the frequency, the smaller the Fresnel zones will be. The farther apart the transmitter and the receiver are, the larger the Fresnel zones will be. When designing a radio system, it is important to keep the Fresnel zones clear of obstructions. This will help to ensure that the radio system will operate at its best. Here are some additional details about Fresnel zones. The Fresnel zones are a geometric representation of the electromagnetic field of a radio wave. The size of the Fresnel zones is proportional to the square of the frequency of the radio wave. The Fresnel zones are also proportional to the square of the distance between the transmitter and the receiver. The Fresnel zones are important for radio systems because they determine the amount of energy that is available at the receiver. If an object obstructs a Fresnel zone, it can cause a significant loss of signal strength. It is important to keep the Fresnel zones clear of obstructions when designing a radio system.